Hey everybody, yesterday we saw the movie Upgraded, but as you can see our format's a little bit different. Unfortunately, while we were trying to reshoot our solo review, I was a tad bit drunk and I accidentally knocked the camera off the tripod. And then I tried to grab the camera and then I smacked it, and it smashed into the ground really hard and now it's broken. So for a while we're going to be doing it this way. Hopefully in like a month or something, when I can afford to buy a new camera, we can have a new camera and not have to do it this shitty way. But anyways, Aiden, what's the plot of Upgraded?
Upgrade is about a guy, Tom Hardy, who's not actually played by Tom Hardy, who,
Tom Hardy.
No, it's not Tom Hardy. It's, I don't remember, he was in something else too. He, gets in a car crash, and he breaks his spine, and he's a cripple in a wheelchair. Oh, and also this movie was made by apparently this movie was written by the guy who wrote the Saw movies, which is interesting.
Oh, that's surprising.
Anyway, besides that, he gets in a car crash, and this guy who looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh villain is like, I can put this chip in your back and it'll let you walk again. And then because he can walk, the chip talks to him and is like, we should become vigilantes and kill the guys who killed your wife. And so he goes and does that, and he can let the chip take over, and it lets him be a little bit faster and stronger. And the people who killed his wife, of course, are cyborgs, because this is an anime, who have guns built into their hands and super strength, and so he goes and
this is an anime.
He goes and he kills him and tries to figure out why his wife was killed. So Connor, what'd you think of Upgrade?
I thought Upgrade was a very good movie. The cast all did pretty good. We primarily followed not Tom Hardy and his robot mind chip thing was kind of our other side character, which I like how that worked, to be able to get exposition off really well, keep that internalized. And it was kind of interesting thinking like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh guy is definitely the main villain, but at the end it turned out it wasn't. Sniffles over here.
Cold.
But anyways, it wasn't Yu-Gi-Oh guy, it was the chip the whole time. So it was kind of cool in that regard. Honestly, my favorite part of this movie, really, I thought the action was super cool, super unique. Wasn't just ripping off John Wick, which was sort of surprising because a lot of movies these days are like, let's just do exactly what John Wick does.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot since John Wick came out, but they didn't really do that here. They kind of did their own thing. This movie was shot super well. I thought the world it created was pretty cool. It was a futuristic sci-fi environment, but it wasn't super futuristic. It's like, this is what the world actually feels like it could look like in 20, 30 years. Yes, the cinematography did a lot of like that bottom lighting, like neon, red, blue, just LED style lighting, which a lot of these movies like doing today. But it was kind of cool to have that more realistic style sci-fi. People weren't driving around in spaceships. There were like self-driving cars and things that are actually being developed in this day and age. So the world they built was actually really cool in that regard. What else can I say? I mean, this movie, not Tom Hardy, I thought did a really good job. I thought the story, though kind of basic, was pretty fun. I thought the villains were pretty cool, had their own cool little abilities. They might have been thwarted a little bit easy at the end, but then ultimately with the twist ending, I thought it was a pretty cool twist, pretty satisfying to see, and just a really well-made film overall, in my opinion. So Aiden, what did you think of Upgrade?
Upgrade is really fun. It's kind of like, the best way to describe it, I was describing it to my coworker, is that it's basically like RoboCop mixed with The Matrix.
It definitely anime feels too.
There's a lot of anime feel. It's kind of got the same thing going on as The Matrix, where everyone's kind of flipping around and bouncing off walls and shit, and it's really fast paced, and they do a lot of fast paced camera work and like weird angles to accommodate the action. and the action's really good, especially in the one-to-one fights, and it's surprisingly gory. I didn't really know what to expect walking in, but there's some real good gore there, especially when he basically cuts a guy's head in half, and you know, the set design feels a little tacky sometimes. Like, there's this one scene where he's in like a hacker apartment, and there's just like 1,000 glow sticks thrown on the floor for some reason.
1,000 glow sticks, and everyone's
It's
playing
like,
in their VR headsets, which I more or less consider set design too.
Yeah, but the VR thing comes back at the end, so I guess it's kind of okay. But the movie's not only like funny for being kind of like a B movie, where it's got some of that B movie cheese to it a little bit, and you know, like the gore will catch you off guard, which will make you laugh a little too. But there's some legitimately pretty funny parts, like when he goes to the like dangerous biker bar, and he has to pretend to be crippled when he goes out because he's not allowed to tell anyone about the chip. And he like leaves his wheelchair with another guy
like
in a wheelchair.
Paraplegic too.
He leaves his wheelchair with another guy in a wheelchair, and he's like, well, keep it safe for me. And the guy's like, faker, and then stands up and gets into his wheelchair.
Yeah, there's some funny moments.
There's some legitimately funny parts. The action is really well done, especially for something so low budget. Normally you'd think the action would just kind of take a shit, but they do good.
Generally, that's
and
what happens.
you know, there's some really weird shit in the movie, like when when the main evil cyborg sneezes and kills someone with his super germs. Like it all feels so anime. It's just like he does a thing and then he battles a guy and then he does a thing.
That guy
and
also feels like a real anime villain because he's like super set up. He's super powerful. Then he dies. It's like, but this is the real villain.
Yeah.
But this is the real villain.
It reminds me a lot of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but not the stand stuff, but like part 2 Battle Tendency, where it's just guys punching each other and they have slightly different punching powers. And you know, I don't know, the movie's just fun all the way through, and it's short and it's fast paced, so it just kind of flies by. And really, it's just, oh god, it's just so good. It's like one of the best things I've seen this year, honestly. It's just like grade A fun, dumb movie. But then at the same time, it doesn't feel dumb, because like the twist actually caught me off guard, the last twists. Where like the whole movie I'm like, oh, they're just setting up this Yu-Gi-Oh guy to be the real villain, and it's so obvious. And then the real villain comes out and you're like, what the fuck? And it actually caught me off guard, even though it's kind of cliched that the robot was the evil thing the whole time.
Probably should have put the spoiler.
You already spoiled it. You said that earlier.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you did.
I know I intentionally did not.
No, you did.
No, I did not.
Whatever. Spoilers for the thing that Connor already spoiled.
I did not spoil it. I said there's a secret twist at the end. I'm not going to spoil it.
No, you didn't.
All I said was there's a villain.
I was surprised you were spoiling it.
I did not spoil it.
Okay, whatever. We can.
You did the plot, and then I did not spoil it. I intentionally thought, and I was about to spoil it, and then I did not.
No, you spoiled.
No, I didn't. We could listen to the clip.
It doesn't matter. We can listen to it.
I can pause this right now, and I can look back.
Okay, pause it, and we'll look at it.
Okay.
Oh, but anyway, the twist is legitimately pretty surprising, and even though it's a pretty cliched twist that I'm not going to spoil, it'll catch you off guard, because like I had actually considered that as the twist, what the twist is as the twist, and then I was like, there's no way that they're doing that, because they have this tacky ass Yu-Gi-Oh villain here. I think everyone's a pretty good actor, especially knockoff Tom Hardy is pretty good. I don't know what else he's been in, but he's pretty good. And overall, the movie's just like ridiculously fun. So Connor, would you recommend Upgrade?
I would recommend Upgrade. It is a very good movie. It is pretty gory, and I think the trailers look really bad. I talked to a lot of people who are like, yeah, I've seen that trailer. It looks really shitty. And it's like, nah, bro, just watch the movie. It's really good. And people are like, probably not. And I'm like, okay, whatever, but it's good. Just I wouldn't even bother watching the trailer. If you're down to see a cool action movie with horror and thriller elements, it's fucking worth your time. And it's definitely up there with Annihilation. And actually, similar to Annihilation, one thing I did notice is that it had a lot of like the 70s synth type sci-fi. It also is a sci-fi movie. It's like a sci-fi horror thriller action movie.
Yeah.
But it also takes that like sci-fi 70s synthies, which I love when people do that. Like, I think in most 70s sci-fi movies it sounds like absolute shit, because now they can kind of, in retrospect, 2020's hindsight, so they do the synth music a little better, but they do the callback.
Yeah.
It's not as annoying. Like, I hate those really low-budget, random tangent, but I hate those low-budget-ass movies. Like, you can watch, like, any 70s movie, any 70s sci-fi movie on, like, Mystery Science Theater, for example, the synth is like, bing!
Oh, yeah.
Bing! It's like, no! For, like, 10 straight minutes, and it's like, fuck. But yes, no, this did the synths right. But yes, it was a great movie. I would definitely recommend it. Aiden, would you recommend this movie?
Yeah, I'd recommend it. It's like a modern day B movie with really well choreographed action, and I don't think anybody would dislike it, especially because it's an hour and a half, not some bloated 4.5 hour long fucking Batman vs Superman shit. This is just great.
Oh, you want to watch BVS tonight?
It's just great fun. You should see it. Everyone should see it. Tell your friends.
Watch BVS.
Tell
to
your
BVS.
little sister to go see it, and she can watch a guy get his head blown off with his arm.
Yeah, the fucking arm thing. That was dope.
Yeah, but yeah, go see it. Please.
9 stars out of 10.
Please respond.